Yeah, Sir LSG, I'm chilling with the legendary Alton Miller.
Hey, man.
And this is the first time we're doing this. It's basically just a chat on the Hit Refresh page about house music, about where people started and where they are now, and just have a real talk, about the scene in general. Nothing fancy, nothing for TV really, just an online thing that we're doing for the scene because we are passionate about this. And big shout out to Hit Refresh and DJ Strategy for giving us this, equipment and the platform to do this. It's really dope. We need to have conversations about
Yes,
our
we
scene,
do.
man.
Yes, we do.
How are
Yes,
you?
we do. I'm good. So it was a pleasure to be back in SA. I was
Hmm.
just here March, April
Yeah.
for about 3 weeks. So quick return, man. I've been
Mm.
here this time almost 2 weeks. I'm here till August 3rd, 4th.
Mm.
Maybe a little bit longer. You never
Where
know.
else do you spend so much time besides South Africa?
Uh, Recently Europe.
Mm.
Again, um, from about maybe 2010 to about 15, I had been spending a lot of time in Asia,
Hmm.
Vietnam,
Mm.
China, um, Thailand.
Mm.
I've been doing Asia a lot, just spreading the love, man.
How is the scene in Asia?
It's in some spots it's good. In some spots it's growing. In Thailand and Bangkok it's growing.
Mm.
Got some good people out there doing some nice stuff.
Mm.
Um, in China, obviously it's a little bit more. They're a little bit more informed.
Mm.
Beijing, Shanghai, Hong Kong,
Mm.
good DJs, um, uh, people that are Asian, and people who have left the states and are now spending time in Europe. And then yeah, man, I enjoy Asia.
Mm.
I'm supposed to go back in September
Okay.
8th to be exact, with a date in Beijing.
Yeah.
So I'll probably build. What I'll do is I'll build a tour around that.
Mm. Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I hear you talking about a lot of places, but
Hmm.
you're not mentioning the states.
Go ahead.
Why is that? Why aren't you spending a lot of time gigging in the states?
Well, I mean, since long time, DJs, even further back, man. We as artists, we've always gone to Europe and made our careers somewhat,
Mm.
somewhat. From jazz musicians from the 40s, 50s, 60s, up until now with house DJs and producers. A lot of people moving to Germany. The States still hasn't. I mean, they've done better. I think. I guess I could say it's gotten a little bit better in regards to embracing house music
Yeah.
and dance music. Um, but still, we still go to Europe to work,
Yeah.
to be creative, to do what we love to do.
Mm.
It's still that. It's Europe and all other stops in the world that seem
Um,
to really support house music
Yeah.
still, dance music.
But it is kind of ironic that
Mhm.
the place that is considered to be where house music comes from,
Mhm.
the scene isn't as strong as it used to be.
Right.
Why do you think that is?
Well, it's always been stronger in Europe. Um, yes, it's not as strong as it used to be, but it's always been stronger in Europe.
Mm.
Different time, different era, different drugs,
Mm.
different, cost of living. I mean, New York in the mid 70s to mid 80s is not the New York, it's
Yeah.
not like that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Same thing for Chicago, same thing for Detroit. It's not like that. I mean, there are some things that exist, that have been created in the spirit of those things that
Mm.
where I come from, the juice bar where you go in at 12 midnight and come out 8, 9 in the morning. And you just dance all night to one DJ, just one DJ, and a beautiful sound system. Some of those things still exist. You know, people like Danny Crivet and the 718, Louis and Joe, you know, and Ron Trent and so on. You know, you know, we try to keep that spirit alive for sure. In the productions. Definitely in the DJing and the sound system, because it was always about the sound. You know?
I want to like go back a bit towards how you started. You know, I mean, so much has changed. What kind of music did you get into when you got into the scene? Like, how was your DJ set? What was kind of the structure of it? Because I know a lot of DJs, when a lot of the OGs never used to play only house. You know, we used to play house.
I mean, everything.
You play 12 hours in the sets.
Oh yeah, man! You played everything. I mean, the beauty in coming from Detroit. We were blessed in the fact that we had this DJ his name was Electrifying Mojo. He played on WD. He played in WGPR in Detroit. For some years. I mean, it was like our music one-on-one. All the DJs and the producers that are my age and older, or even maybe a little bit younger. We were heavily influenced by Electrifying Mojo, because just that, his program consisted of everything. Early hip hop, lots of craft work, lots of Parliament Funkadelic, lots of Prince, lots of B-52s, everything from jazz, funk to everything, man. Everything. He played everything. And that, you know, like I said, that was our music one-on-one. I got started, I went to my first club, Juice Bar, just that, at about 15.
Were you playing?
No, I wasn't playing yet. I think I was 10th grade high school. A DJ by the name of Ken Collier. He's no longer with us, but he was our Frankie Knuckles or our Ron Hardy of Detroit. He was like the Godfather. He set everything off. I went and heard him play, and I just, you know, I was taken away. I knew that eventually that would be, when I heard him play, it would be a big part of my life. It would be what I would be doing. You know what I mean? He was playing stuff like, he was playing what we call then, you know, it was post-disco. So we're talking 1980 or 81.
Before I was born.
So we're talking, don't make me feel old. We're talking a lot, the labels that were hot back then were Prelude, West End, Jive, Blanket, Sam. We called it progressive dance music. I remember hearing Hugh Masekela, "Don't Go Lose a Baby," the 12-inch, the stretch mix on Jive. That was it. When I heard, that tune. I had no idea who Hugh Masekela was, but you know, later I found out, you know. But the tune, man, it was, when I heard that tune just stuck out for me. Funny enough, and we're talking, what, 35 years later you know, I'm sitting here in that South Africa, and then I'm talking about a Hugh Masekela track that heavily influenced me in regards to what I do now.
And I mean, when you mentioned there's all of these different kinds of music that you were hearing in the clubs and that you eventually got to play, how did you feel when the scene progressed, especially like, for example, in South Africa, where we have a specific kind of like deep and soulful house scene. You know, if you play anything else, it's kind of like a crime, you know. It's kind of very concentrated. And I mean, across the world, you have techno parties where it's only just techno, and you have 1,000 DJs now, more than having one DJ in a night.
Exactly.
Their transition, because I mean, places are different. I'm sure still when you play in other places abroad, it's not so kind of boxed, that is that the case
Well, fortunately, I've been doing this for a long time.
over 30
Um,
years?
the people that the people that I work with, they know my sound.
Mm.
Um, maybe 7 or 8 times out of 10, I'm gonna be playing for someone that I've been playing for a very long time,
Mm.
or in the same vein.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
Same crew.
Mm.
If that person that I used to play for is not there, it's somebody that's keeping the torch, so they know what I do.
Yes.
So I've been, I can, as it should be a DJ. You're not supposed to be restricted. You're not
Mm.
doing your job. I always say you're not doing your job if you don't clear the floor.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You have to. That's what we were. That's what we do.
Mm.
We break records.
Mm.
In the 70s, it was the DJs that influenced radio.
Yes.
They sent everybody to the record store to buy records.
Yes.
Because over the weekend, you heard that song in the club.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it's the same thing. You're supposed like I said, you're not. You have to be creative.
Yeah.
If that's what it is, you have to be able to express yourself.
Mm-hmm.
One man's brass may be a next man's gold, in regards to music. Just
Yes.
because the dance floor doesn't like it doesn't mean that it's not a good tune.
Yeah. I
You know what I
agree.
mean?
Yeah.
It's your job. We do it as a passion and a labor of love, to introduce people to music.
Mm.
That's what we do.
Tell me about the nightclub. You opened a nightclub back in the days.
1988,
Mhm.
1988.
The Music Institute.
The Music Institute in Detroit, and it was created in the spirit of the Paradise Garage in New York, Larry Levan, Frankie Knuckles, the Warehouse in Chicago, Ron Hardy's Music Box in Chicago, the Twilight Zone in Toronto, and it was just that. From about 85 to about 87,
Yes.
I did a lot of clubbing.
Yes.
Nationally in the States, from New York to Toronto, Chicago, even Atlanta in the early '90s, post the Music Institute.
Yeah.
And it was created in that spirit of just a beautiful sound system. Just beautiful. Juice bar. We didn't sell alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
We opened at
Wow.
midnight, and we closed when the last person left.
How long did you run for?
For about a year and a half, 2 years.
Mm.
Yeah, not very long.
Yeah.
And it was just that, man.
And like for the nightclub, what were the best nights like? In the music institute.
In the Music
So
Institute?
when you say like tonight was popping, like what would it in your mind? How would you describe it?
That's a good question. The commune, man. People coming together in the spirit of dance and music. And we had a lot of good nights like that. We spent the week working on music. We would work on edits, myself and Shadamir. We did Saturday nights. Derek May and D Win did Friday nights, which was more techno. Saturday nights was more soulful vocals, lots of classics, lots of funk, lots of experimental stuff. And we would spend the whole week working on the system, making sure that the system was just as good the week before. And we spent the whole week working on edits of songs, and it was a presentation from the way the club looked to the sound to everything. It was like a production every weekend. It was created in that spirit, man. So a special night, a good night. We had a lot of good nights. And they were just the beauty of people just being one with the music. You know what I mean? So, yeah, just people being one with the music, man.
Yeah.
And the commune, we're going on a journey with a DJ, and everybody's there and all in unison, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
But when I there's been also in SA a lot of clubs before,
Right.
a lot of legendary clubs.
Right.
Let's just get the phone first.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
And at some point, I mean, nothing. Some things last forever, but sometimes most things don't. You know,
Right. Right.
most things don't. What was the how did you get to close the club? What happened?
Eventually, our overhead, um, became bigger than our proceeds from the door, and the fact that we didn't sell alcohol. We were young. We were all three. It was three of us. We were 22. There were probably some things that, no, I'm sure there were some things that we could have done better. We decided to, one of the main factors, we decided to reconstruct within the first year of business, which was a bad mistake, because it took us a long time to reopen after that. It was during the winter months.
The momentum.
It killed the momentum. You know, so you learn from your mistakes. Someone just asked me recently, and I get it all the time. You know, are you gonna do? Would you ever open up another club? And yeah, for sure. Yeah. Something on a smaller scale.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, running
dope
a club
system. You know what I mean?
Child's play as well.
You know, nice. I don't know if it would be an all-nighter, a juice bar, but it would. You know, the music and the sound would definitely be first, and then the kitchen.
Yeah.
Or just as equal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I would, you know, we're older now, so we need certain things.
Yeah. I mean, you know. It's amazing that you mentioned that you guys were 22.
We were 22,
like
man.
Very young age, already starting a nightclub.
We were 22 by the time we opened the club. We were 21 when we decided to do it. You know what I mean? So we were really young.
Well, I mean, really for me, the whole point I'm actually also trying to get to is that there's a lot of young guys in South Africa who are really into the scene or who are interested in becoming part of the scene, you know.
Right.
And I started as such a young guy, you know. In my, I think I was 19 when I started trying to DJ, or 18, something like that.
Right.
But there seems to be a lot of self-entitlement, you know. There's a lot of people expecting things to happen, especially in a short space of time.
Right.
I mean, I took 4 years working on my album, and I'm just starting out, you know. I consider myself a very new artist.
Right.
But I also get a sense of a lot of young guys wanting things to happen
very quickly,
you know.
Yeah.
What were, for you as a young person, the most difficult moments, like when you getting into the scene, or as you moving up into the scene? What did you struggle with?
I struggle with mainly time management. You know what I mean? Prioritizing. You know, just having daily structure. But you know, it's hard to get things done when you don't have daily structure. You know what I mean? Being young, you know, I mean, we like to party.
Yeah.
So I don't know, a lot of people, you get asked the question, you know, what would you do differently? I don't know if I would do anything differently. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Everybody has a path.
Yeah.
I mean, and I say that because I say that because I'm working on an album now. It's taking me 3 years.
Yeah.
So, you know, you learn as you go. I mean, it depends on who you are, man. I mean, if you have support and people around you to steer you in the right way and give you good advice, and you know, because you're gonna take it no matter what. You're gonna take some bumps and bruises, man.
That's true.
You're gonna fall off. You're gonna detour. You're gonna get sidetracked here and there. You know, it's just everybody has their path.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't know if I would do anything differently.
Yeah.
So I mean, the joy is in the process.
Yeah.
but it's not always joyful.
Yeah, it's not.
You know what I
But
mean?
but I mean, in hindsight, you do realize that it was part of the process, or it is
Yeah.
part of the process. But
Yeah.
at the moment, at the time
When
where
you're going through
when
it.
you're going through it, what
Yeah.
like is there anything that kind of wanted you to quit the music, to stop making the music, to
Oh,
stop
for
touring?
sure.
What was
For
it?
sure. Money.
Yeah,
Money is always a factor.
yeah,
Getting records played. You know, and as an artist at the core, we want people to love our shit.
yeah,
We do it. We have to do it. It's what we do.
yeah,
But, you know, at the end of the day, we want it to be heard and, you know, celebrated and highly praised and, you know what I mean? But if you can want that, but it can't be the praise and the accolades and the Grammys and the plaques and the gold records can't be the end. It can't be just that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it may never happen.
Yeah. True.
You know what I mean?
True.
And then what do you do? What are you gonna do at that point? You just have to be true to your passion.
True.
And in that, you know, you have to be comfortable with your journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we all have to eat. I'm not saying don't eat.
Yeah.
We got to do things to eat. But there's got to be balance too. You know what I mean? So there's got to be good balance. You got to have good people around you. Everybody's not always going to give you good advice, of course. People are going to. I mean, the music business is vicious.
Yes.
We know that. You know, it's no joke. You gotta have tough skin. I mean, I've been, you know, I've had my incidents where, you know, I shouldn't have signed something, or I should have did it this way, or blah, 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 blah. You know, I would say to anybody that's starting out or that's even in it now and they haven't done so, is to get a lawyer. You know what I mean? Have somebody look at your stuff from that spectrum.
Yeah.
You know, and then from the personal thing, what we need and how we, validate our own art and what we need from it, because it's at the end of the day, it's how you feel about it.
Yeah.
And then how the public feels about
I
it.
mean,
If the balance is there, if there's good balance, I can't, you can't read a critique about your music and just let it destroy you.
Yeah.
People, like I said, I always tell people, one man's brass is another man's gold. Just because somebody doesn't like it, or they're not feeling it, doesn't mean it doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just have to keep going on. I've been making music for a long time, man.
Again, I say over 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, if I thought about people that have come up after me, and that have, done better, or that have received more praise in this industry, but that's a whole nother story. We're talking about the industry.
Yeah.
I would be crushed. You can't compare yourself to anybody, because at the end of the day, you are yourself. Nobody tastes the way you taste. Nobody. I may look at something, and I'm going to see it differently. I'm going to hear something different. We can listen to the same song right now, and I'm going to hear something different than you hear, because of your DNA, where you come from, how you were brought up, what you eat, what's your favorite color, everything. It's art is a reflection of self. That's all it is.
I mean, I can tell you like a story after releasing Moving Circles, right? And the album did very well. It was well received, and I'm very grateful for that, I must say.
Yeah.
But a part of me afterwards, let me say, I released in September. I had a really good run last year, actually from the beginning of the year, doing singles and stuff like that. And then January until kind of May, I went into this kind of dark place.
Yeah, man.
with the music without making new music with high expectations of the
Brother.
album, and having self-doubt of the
Yeah,
music. But also,
yeah,
I've also grown to learn. It actually taught me a lot more than anything.
yeah.
That it actually, right now, I went back to a
Hmm.
space of, in that space where I was making the album
Right.
and feeling
Before.
what is it that I really wanted.
The
when I
joy
made
is in
it,
the process, man. The joy is in the process.
reflection
You know
of
what I
self,
mean?
man,
It's no guarantee when you create a piece of art that it's going to be accepted,
Yeah.
or you might feel like, well, wow, man, I could have got more recognition, I could have got more gigs, I could have got more money. It's not the case.
Yeah.
We as artists are tormented souls.
Yeah. Already.
You know, already. So I mean, like I said, I'm taking, I'm taking 3 years to do an album. I mean, and it's because of life. My kids, myself. Where am I? Do I have anything to say
Yeah.
in the studio?
Yeah.
First of all,
Yeah.
do I feel like making music? I would say to you, don't ever feel like you must be making music 24/7.
Yeah. True.
Because if you force it and you don't have anything to say, then you're not gonna be happy.
It'll
with
actually
it.
crush you more than
It'll
anything.
crush you
Yeah.
more than anything. And people, when you make music and you feel it and it came from a place that's good, people are gonna hear that.
True.
They're gonna, and that's the same thing as DJing.
Yes.
When I leave the DJ booth, I'm depressed. You know what I mean? Not in the sense where I'm just like, but I'm like, okay, damn, the set's over. What am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home and go to sleep. I'm gonna wake up and wow, okay. I gotta start over. What am I gonna do until the next gig?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And especially if there are long gaps in between playing, I get real.
Hey, man.
I get real kind of like, okay, I gotta get the stones off my back. You know what I mean? I gotta go play some tunes. So I mean, this is what we do. This is who we are.
Tell me about playing. South Africa, like the gigs. When was the first time when you came here for a gig?
2011. Yeah.
And do you have any, what sort of memories? Like,
oh man, fond memories. I always talk about 2011.
One gig?
Probably favorite place to play, La Costa joint in McClacken.
Yeah.
Oh.
Intimate, right?
Intimate.
Yeah.
Right there. Just good vibe, man. It was actually on the street. It was like somebody's house.
Yeah.
Turned into a tavern.
Yeah.
I mean, just every time I played there, man, just the music in 2011. I mean, on top of the fact that it was my first time in SA ever, I ended up staying 6 months.
Yeah.
I ended up staying 6 months. I had to pay on the way out or on the way back in because I had overstayed my visa.
Yeah.
Probably La Costa joint, man. That's what La Costa joint. That's what sticks out most for me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's others.
There's
other
others, but
gigs.
those gigs, I think I did it maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe more in the course of 6 months. But it was just like, okay, this is SA.
And have you seen what sort of progressions, or have you progressed ever since you came in terms of venues, in terms of events?
Yeah, I mean, every time this is probably like my maybe a 6th or 7th time here in SA. I think every time it's gotten better and better and better and better, and that's a good thing. So I've been putting in a lot of work.
Yeah.
I've been really stoking the fire. One thing I don't do is when I come out of that DJ booth, I'm not that guy that's gonna go straight to the hotel.
Yeah.
I'm a long way from home.
Yeah.
And this in SA, people really love house music. Like, and I always tell people that have never been here, like I was told, you have to see it to believe it. I can talk to you till you're blue in the face about SA. You can't explain it.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that the music is everything, and especially when I come here, it's just like a validation and an affirmation of what I do. You know what I mean? And I was just I was explaining to my brother Scott Grooves the other day. He's got a nice record out, and he was trying to get a feel for
Respect.
what was going on, and
Yeah.
it's like, well, do they play like one certain type? And I was like, no, man, it's not like that. You got Vinny that's doing his thing, Christos, all these guys, LSG. I mean, and then you got super duper vocalists and musicians, and everybody's got their own sound.
Yeah.
When I go hear Vinny, I know I'm gonna hear
Yeah.
some good shit.
Yeah. Definitely.
A certain sound. But when I go and hear, if I hit listen to Nasty Nev or somebody, I know I'm gonna hear a certain sound, but just dope shit. I was at Jerusalem in Cosmos City on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Dope DJ, dope, and that's what keeps me coming back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I think that when I say we, I mean like the younger guys in South Africa. Sometimes we don't show as much appreciation for our scene,
No, you have to, man.
I notice it because of how we get to complain about stuff. I complain too, I'm not pointing any fingers. I complain a lot about stuff, but I also get to a point where I say, actually, I shouldn't really be complaining about this. When I go to Durban and I play a gig in Durban, and you see the love that people give you, and it's all because of the music,
Right.
Right. So the love is there, the scene is there, right? But there's something that I feel could still, kind of propel us forward even more, and probably maybe it might be the unity, in the scene.
Yeah.
But I see good things for SA, man. But I
always.
want to ask you about producers, like locally in South Africa, who, or even vocalists, are you thinking of working with other people?
Always. I mean, before we started this, we were talking about K-Lo. I've been trying to get with K-Lo, for a long time.
Yeah.
Fumelo, I did a piece with KB, Love Don't Pass Me By. That's going to be on the album that I've been working on for 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get her back in the studio. I mean, there's a list. There's a list of people, man. I want to get my man Bugani, the percussionist, on some stuff. It's the list. It's like a scroll. Up next, you know what I mean?
I hear you.
It's a scroll of people that I want to get down with. It's just, again, just finding the time.
Yeah.
I've been here almost 2 weeks. I literally I didn't let a lot of people know that I was here, because I needed to get caught up on some projects, some remixes and stuff like that. So yeah, man, between the DJ schedule and recording, I try to feed off that energy, taking, what we do from the DJ booth and bringing it back to the studio.
Yeah, and
but it's, you still gotta wash clothes and
do other work. I mean,
grocery shop.
we'll get to the gigs.
Get a haircut.
We'll get to the gigs just in a moment, but
know?
I want to ask you something just quick regarding the music. What are your hopes for your music? Are you, in terms of sound, in terms of reach, what are you hoping for?
I'm always striving to make that next project better than the last. That's really how I can sum it up. You know what I mean? Making sure it sounds good, making sure that it moves people. There's so much that's going on up here in regards to what I want to do. You know what I mean? I hear stuff and I automatically just, I love going to listen to DJs, man. You can't, I'll, and if I hear a dope DJ, I'm inspired. The music is right. The flow is right. I'm hearing stuff left, right, and then I have so many ideas. I can't get them out quick enough.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the last 3 years has been reflecting that, because I've had a lot of stuff come out.
Yeah.
And especially on vinyl, and it's really good to see that that vinyl is really strong here in SA.
It's coming back strongly, man. It's coming back. We've just pressed I sampler for my album, Moving Circles. It's almost sold out. You know,
Yep.
we're actually planning on pressing second part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So vinyl is coming
Vinyl,
back, and we've
man,
got
that's
guys doing good
I
stuff,
mean,
man.
it
Like the
makes you
guys
feel.
at-
It makes me feel young again.
Yeah.
I mean, because I got into it. I worked for a label, you know, selling records, A&R records. I mean, selling records, no CD, no MP3 records.
Yeah.
Picking up records from the pressing plant, you know, shipping them out to distributors. Boom, boom, boom. Records, man. Putting a record on a turntable.
Yeah,
and
it is coming back definitely.
You know what I mean?
Here on the show on Hit Refresh, we have vinyl nights where we invite people to come and rock strictly a vinyl
All right.
set.
So we might have to do this again.
Before you leave. I mean, you're still here, right?
Let's do it.
We might do a vinyl set just before you leave or when you come back, whenever.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So the gigs, right? I wanna just check my phone.
All right.
You can actually give it to me on your phone.
Let me
flyer,
see
so-
it. I gotta reboot so we can
Okay. Yeah.
we can keep
Yeah, but
talking
definitely
because
on
it
the-
takes my phone up
Tomorrow, I mean, today is Friday, so tomorrow you're playing End Club for Deep Town Josie.
on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Fochville. Did I say that right? Fochville.
Forgeville as well.
I think it's Soul to Soul.
Soul to Soul.
Soul to Soul in
Yeah.
Fochville.
When is it?
And then Botswana Cigar Lounge on Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I might have it here. No, I don't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah,
but
man.
I
So
mean, like,
the schedule is busy, as you guys say, hectic.
it's hectic.
When we say hectic, it means a bad. Nah, it's too hectic. Nah, when you guys say hectic, it's a good thing.
It's a good thing,
It's
yeah.
good to be busy, right?
Definitely. But yeah, man, thanks for having a chat with me.
No worries, man.
I'm very honored to be having this chat, you know, a real chat for me about house music, about your own story.
For sure, man.
I'm sure we could go on and on
We
for
can
hours.
go
but
on. We didn't even get to
we
the
just
industry
scratch it,
itself.
you know?
And we just scratching here and there.
Yeah, but thank you so much.
No worries, man. It's always nice to be the first.
For sure. Yeah. So yeah, check us out. This is the Hit Refresh. I don't know what to call this. It's the first time we do it with Alton Miller. And check us out next week Friday again. Peace out.
Peace.